Hey guys, welcome back to Embraced by Life. I'm your host Lisa, sharing with you my early retirement journey along with my husband Frank and our dog Buddy. So we're still in Spain. We've been here since the beginning, mid-November, and it's now January 10th. And I haven't had a video in the last 10 days because we've been super busy taking care of our dog Buddy. So I'm going to share with you today all about the vet care here in Spain and the past week and a half journey for us. So it was the day before New Year's Eve, so December 30th. Buddy started getting really sick. His back hind legs started to go. He had some pain in one of his back legs. And so we took him to the vet, and they wanted to do a sonogram first before an x-ray to check out his organs and see how things were working. So we trusted that. We did a sonogram immediately, and they had him in there for a few hours, and then we picked him up, and they also did blood work, and they said that his adrenal glands were extremely small and that they wanted to test his blood for Addison's disease because he had very high potassium and his sodium was very low, and he had small adrenal glands. And then secondary to that, he also has symptoms similar to what our last dog had. He's a Weimaraner breed, and our last dog was also a Weimaraner, and our prior dog had degenerative myopathy in his back legs. So honestly, I thought that's what we had to deal with. So I wanted to do x-rays as well. And so the blood work came back positive for Addison's disease. And then the x-rays, which were done the next day, came back with very early signs of degenerative myopathy that's in the spine. And for whatever reason, this breed tends to get that. They get weakness in their hind legs and they start knuckling over on their back paws. So that's very early signs of that, but that's not what caused him to collapse. It was the Addison's disease. He was actually in a crisis. So they immediately gave him very high dose of prednisone, 35 milligrams. He is about 85 or was about 85 pounds. He wasn't eating, he was collapsing, he was losing weight rapidly. The prednisone started making his stomach even worse. So then we went back the next day. This was the 31st by then. And in addition to the prednisone, they gave us some stuff for his stomach. And so we had the first was a holiday, obviously, January 1st. We were just monitoring him. He was still very sick. The prednisone was bothering him. So what ended up happening was we went back on the 2nd and they gave us some more pills for his stomach. And we reduced his prednisone a little bit from 35 milligrams to 20 milligrams. And then he started tolerating that, but he was up every hour through the night having to go to the bathroom. So for about 2 or 3 nights, neither Buddy nor I slept at all. And he kept just having to go to the bathroom. It was pretty bad. And his stomach wasn't tolerating the medicine either. So we reduced down from 20 milligrams to 18 milligrams prednisone, and then a slow taper down. And now he's on 5 milligrams. So between reducing the prednisone a little bit, we retested his labs on the 2nd of January just to make sure that we were okay reducing. They also gave him an injection for electrolytes. It's like a special injection for Addison's disease. So he had gotten that on the 31st. So by the 2nd, we tested his blood to make sure that his electrolytes were okay and that his sodium was increasing and his potassium was decreasing, which it was. So we just kept that regime. And I had a terrible head cold in addition to all that. So we were pretty much laid out for a good 5 to 7 days. And then over this past weekend, we finally got back up and running and just came back from the vets today. And he's doing well with his 5 milligrams of prednisone. And now it's every other day. And I've been on some Facebook groups with other folks who have dogs with Addison's disease, and they've explained to me this low dose protocol for the prednisone, which is what we're aiming towards. And the vet here is absolutely phenomenal. We got so lucky. They diagnosed him very quickly. When I talked to the vet today, I was thanking him for diagnosing Buddy so quickly, and he said he had worked at an emergency veterinary hospital, and that's why he knew the signs and symptoms so fast. But usually it takes about 3 weeks for them to diagnose it, and oftentimes the dogs are so sick and crash that they have to be in the hospital with IV and everything. So we got lucky that we were able to nurse him at home with the help of the vets who were checking in with us every day. Here in Spain, everyone uses WhatsApp, so we were talking to the vets on WhatsApp throughout the week. And yeah, it's been very difficult. Obviously, we've had challenges through the whole year. And you know, with Addison's, it's stress induced, and obviously the plane ride here, even though Buddy seemed to do fine with it, I'm sure it took a toll on him, as well as all the hills that we have here in Benalmádena. We're in the Malaga area in Benalmádena, and there's a lot of hills that we have to climb. And so I think he just got tuckered out from that, and his stress levels went up and he crashed. So we've been lowering his activity a bit, but once he gets stabilized, we'll get him back out and walking, and he just loves it here. And so do we. So, you know, this was going to happen at some point in his life, and it happened now. And we were just so fortunate to have really good vets here. In terms of the cost of the veterinary care, I would say it's a little less than in the US, but not an extremely cheap undertaking. It's still expensive here. But we got lucky that we didn't have to put him into the emergency room. So I think the first vet visit cost around $300 and some. More testing, more medication and everything when we went back on the second was another 300 or so. I'd say all in we're about €1,000 in right now, which is about $1,200. That includes his injection, his medicine for his stomach, and he's on all this different stuff. So if any of you want to put questions in the comments, I can give you more details as to his lab levels and the doses of what he's on, but they've been absolutely fantastic. So we're happy to have gotten through last year. 2025 is now over. We are starting 2026 with a new lease on life, with Buddy being better, and yeah, we're going to hopefully have a new home that we'll be moving into. We've been searching for houses this whole time, and I'll do a whole nother video on real estate here in Spain, specifically in the Malaga and Benalmádena area, and what it's like to look for a home to buy. It's been a challenge. We've been literally searching since we got here in mid-November. We think we're getting closer. We are moving from our current rental into another one this coming week. So the rental that we're in was only available for 2 months, and gosh, we're almost here 2 months. So just shy, a week or two shy of that. So we had it rented as of the 12th of November, but we didn't arrive until the 19th. So we did pay for it for a few days before we got here, but we're glad we made it. We got our visas, obviously. You'll see that in our other videos of how you apply for your NLV visa, which is the one that we have, and getting here. I also have another video on all the paperwork that you need to get done when you land. We have our appointment coming up in a couple weeks to pick up our TIA, which is the TIA cards. That's basically our ID card with our residency. And we do not have our Padrón yet, but we were able to purchase our car, and I have a video on all about that. It took quite a few weeks, and it was a lot of frustration, and honestly, we were at a breaking point where we didn't know if it was going to be worth it or not, but we got through that hurdle. I would say there's so many mountains to climb, but it's so worth it. We're starting to settle in. We're starting to explore now that we have a car. I would say a vehicle is a must for us, especially coming from the US. We just want to be able to get around and explore and not have to rely on public transportation all the time, although we do take the bus now and then, but we love having a car, and that's something that we're looking for, is parking, as we're looking for a place to live permanently. So like I said, I'll do a whole separate video on house hunting, searching for the perfect home here in Spain, all about the real estate market. I'll try to do that in the next coming days. And for now, I will let you guys go. I'm gonna go attend to Buddy, give him his next dose of prednisone, and get the day started. So I hope you're embracing life, and I'll try to do more videos more frequently now that we're getting a little bit caught up with everything and getting settled in. All right, talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.